Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about distance and displacement. Similarly, speed and velocity. These all are the things that you have already studied in class 9. When a body is in motion, the motion can be identified only with the physical quantity like distance, displacement, speed, velocity and acceleration. So what is meant by distance? It is the actual path travelled by the body. Say for example, I am going from school to home. The actual path travelled by me is called distance. So the roads are curved, so I have to move in a curved path. That is distance. Now what is displacement? It is the shortest distance between initial to final position. That means if I draw a straight line from my school to my home, that straight line is the displacement. So I already told you the distance from school to my home is around 40 kilometer. That is distance. Those things happens because of curved road. But if I am drawing a straight line from my house to school, then that displacement may be around 15 or 20 kilometers only. So that is the shortest distance between initial to final point. Now the second point, distance is a scalar quantity, whereas displacement is a vector quantity. What is meant by scalar and vector? Scalar quantities means the physical quantities which have only magnitude. Magnitude meaning value. The physical quantities which have only magnitude are called scalar quantities. The physical quantities which have magnitude as well as direction is called vector quantities. For example, when I say I travelled 5 kilometer, that is distance. But when I say I travelled 5 kilometer towards east, that is displacement. Understood? That's the difference. So distance is a scalar quantity which has only magnitude, which is a value. Displacement has both magnitude and direction. Now the third point, distance is always positive for a moving body. If any body moves, the distance is always positive, whereas the displacement can be positive, negative or 0. See, displacement is having a direction. So if any body goes forward and comes backward, the backward direction is taken as negative. So I am standing here, I am moving forward, I took 3 steps and then I moved backward and I reach here itself. The displacement is 0. Okay. So if the body starts and comes back to the starting point, the displacement can be 0, whereas distance is not 0 in that case. That is why we say it can be positive, negative or 0. And the fourth point, it is always greater than or equal to displacement, whereas displacement is lesser than or equal to distance. Since displacement is the shortest distance, it is lesser than or equal to distance. And look here, distance is equal to displacement only when body travels in a straight line. So distance and displacement are equal only when body travels in straight line. Otherwise, always distance is greater than displacement. Now, what is the SI unit of distance and displacement? Yes, it is meter. Meter. And dimension of both is written as L, capital letter L. Now, let us move on to the next physical quantity, which is speed and velocity. We are going to compare the other two physical quantities, which is speed and velocity. I can say in short, speed is the attribute of distance, whereas velocity is the attribute of displacement. Okay, therefore I can say like this, the heading for speed and velocity. I told you speed is the attribute of distance, whereas velocity is the attribute of displacement. Okay, so I can write speed is equal to distance by time. Speed is distance by time, whereas what is velocity? Velocity is displacement by time. Velocity is displacement by time. Then everything else looks similar. Speed is a scalar, velocity is a vector. Speed is always positive, but velocity can be positive, negative, or zero. And the next point, speed is, you can say like this, speed is always greater than or equal to velocity, whereas velocity is always lesser than or equal to speed. And in which condition speed and velocity are equal? We can say speed equal to velocity only when body travels in a straight line. So if you learn distance and displacement, you can easily study speed and velocity based on this factor, right? Now, when can we say that the body is moving with uniform speed? The body is moving with uniform speed if it travels equal distance in equal interval of time. Okay, if the body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, we can say that the body is moving with uniform speed. Now, when can we say that body is moving with variable speed? If the distance traveled by the body is unequal. If the distance traveled by the body is unequal in equal interval of time, then we can say the body is moving with non-uniform speed. So if the speed is non-uniform, then we have to find the average speed. The average speed can be calculated from the formula total distance traveled by total time taken. So we will say like this, average speed equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. So we will see how to find the average speed when the body goes in a different way. If speed and time are given, then if speed and distance are given, how to find the average speed. Okay, those things we will do it in the next section. Thank you.